If you're not aware, there will be changes on how Californians will be voting in the future. These changes are designed to make the process of voting faster, easier, and more secure. Among the changes will include the addition of vote centers throughout Orange County, secure drop-off locations, and new flexible voting schedules. BPTV met up with Adria Jimenez, the city clerk for the city of Buena Park, to learn more about the new changes and how they will benefit voters. Adria, can you please inform the viewers about the new voting changes and how they will help voters in the upcoming election?
Sure. This year, we are enacting the Voters' Choice Act of 2016, which gives an opportunity for our elections to be modernized and more accessible for the public.
And what are the benefits for this modernization?
There are many benefits to the modernization of our elections. It'll be easier access to voting, so if you are anywhere in your county, you can walk into any polling location and vote your ballot at that location.
You mean you don't have to be in the city that you live in?
You don't have to be in the city that you live in to vote any longer. You can be out on a weekend excursion shopping at a mall, and they'll have a polling location in the mall. You can walk in at your convenience and vote then.
So you can vote where you close to your office where you work as well?
Exactly.
Oh, so this will decrease the issues of people needing to get back to their homes or their cities in order to cast a vote.
Exactly. What we're looking for is a bigger opportunity, more flexibility to allow people to vote at their convenience.
Well, I understand this also includes drop-off locations and flexible schedules?
Yes. So there will be 2 drop-off locations in Buena Park, and there will be permanent ballot boxes installed in the city. The first will be at the Ehlers Event Center on Knott Avenue, and the second location will be conveniently at the Metrolink station up in District 1. So
does this mean that everybody's going to receive a mail-in ballot so that they can cast their ballot?
Yes, part of the Voters' Choice Act is allowing all registered voters to receive a mail ballot. And in that mail ballot, it will already be pre-postage paid, so you don't have to attach a stamp. You complete your mail ballot, you can send it in through the mail, or you can drop it off at one of these convenient permanent ballot box locations.
Well, that makes it much more convenient for voting. Basically, how will these benefits work as well? How will people receive their information?
A month prior to the election, the Orange County Register of Voters will send out a packet with information that will contain your vote by mail ballot, information about the new changes in our election system, and also other opportunities of locations of where to vote.
Oh, well, that sounds very convenient, but there are a lot of people in Southern California, and especially here in Buena Park, that speak different languages. They are registered voters, but how many languages will be available for non-English speakers?
So there'll be a total of 12 different languages for election information. When you register to vote, the registration form does ask what language you prefer to receive your election information in. So you can check the language that you prefer, and the registrar's office will send you your election information in your preferred language.
Wow, that's very good. I think you had already said what will be in the packet, but could you go over that again, please?
Sure. So about 30 days prior to the election, the Registrar of Voters will send a packet to all registered voters in the city, and within that packet it'll have a few things. First, it's going to explain the new concept of voting and the modernization and how it benefits the voters in Buena Park.
Yeah.
And the next part of that, it will contain your vote by mail ballot. So you'll get your vote by mail ballot before you normally get your ballot, which was like 2 or 3 weeks in previous elections. Now you'll get it about a month ahead of time. You can fill that ballot out, send it in, or drop it off at our convenient voting locations.
So this drop-off and mailing in, this new flexible hours is almost, there's no excuse not to be able to vote now.
Exactly. There is no excuse to participate in our election system.
Wow, that is great. And for more information on for our viewers, if they have questions, can they call your office, or how else can they get that information?
Of course, we always welcome the residents to contact the city clerk's office. We're here to help with any information that you need. Our number is 714-562-3750, or you can email us or contact us on the city's website at buenapark.com.
And if people wanted to register to vote, they can also register here?
You can also register here, and you can also register online. And we have that information on our city's website.
Well, that is very good. This is very good information about the new voting guidelines. I understand that we will also in the city, the state will be voting in the primary elections in March. Is this going to be something we'll be doing in March of this year?
Yes.
This 2020.
So this new modernization does take effect for the March 3rd, 2020 election.
So it's very important for people to get this information. Thank you very much.
Yes.
While we're sitting with you, there's another interesting and important activity going on, taking place in the year 2020, and it's the 2020 Census. What can you tell our viewers about the 2020 Census?
So it's here. The 2020 Census is here every 10 years, and we're really excited to put together a committee of residents who are conducting some outreach to their local residents and informing them and educating them about what the 2020 Census is all about. What we are looking for is the maximum participation from our residents as possible.
And is there anything people need to be afraid of if a census worker knocks on their door?
Absolutely not. Census workers will be identified through an ID and a badge that they do have with them. There is nothing to be afraid of. This information is confidential. It is destroyed after, I believe it was 99 years retention, and it's just used to gather the information that determines how much money the city receives from federal and state grants. And not only federal and state grants for the city, but also for your schools.
Yes, schools are very important because they rely on tax receipts, but do you need to be a registered voter to be counted in the census?
No, you don't need to be a registered voter. You just need to be living in the United States to be counted in the census and complete the census form.
Now, you had said 99 years of keeping the information. A lot of people don't realize that genealogy is achieved through census taking, right?
That is correct. So if you've been doing some research on your history through the DNA tests that are now really popular, that's how they gather a lot of their information, is through the census.
So they're able to track people's migration throughout the country.
Exactly.
Wow. And you said it is very important to be counted in 2020 census. Is there a website for more information if people would like to contact you or find out any information?
Yes.
How can they?
They can always contact the city clerk's office here in Buena Park. We do have some information on our city's website, or you can go to census.gov.
Very, very good. Well, thank you very much, Adria, for talking with us on Buena Park Today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Bicycling in the big city is a growing trend. More and more cities in Orange County and around Buena Park are adopting bike and pedestrian-friendly options for the public. From more bike lanes on streets to public events that close down stretches of roads so the public can enjoy them in a new and interesting way. Just like the Meet on Beach event last November 2019. The city of Buena Park is seeking the public's input to study biking and pedestrian trail connectivity in the northwest part of town. Francisco Gutierrez is an associate engineer with the Department of Public Works. He's working on the OCLoop Bike Trail Connectivity Study to see how to provide connectivity between bike trails and our own Buena Park Metrolink station.
The goals of the OCLoop study is to connect the community and to allow for people to become more healthy by utilizing the trails, not only for exercise but also for walking and for getting from the Metrolink station to other places where they work, where they play. And the main goal is to close the gap between Fullerton. It's an east-west gap between Fullerton and City of Buena Park. And that's the main objective of this project. We'd like to obtain input from the community so that we can maximize the use of this study and potentially a future project. In 2012, there was an OCTA study that aimed to close the gap between the east and west sides of Buena Park and provide connectivity and study how we can connect the Buena Park Metrolink station with regional bikeways. What this study will do is actually close the gap between Fullerton and the 66-mile OCLoop that is being developed by Orange County at this time, which will allow commuters, pedestrians, bicyclists to utilize 66 miles all around the county through different cities. At this time, the study is needed because the Coyote Creek Bike Trail presently ends at this location that we're standing. So this is the Coyote Creek, and we have a trail just adjacent to the creek, and it does go out to the ocean. However, at this time, the trail does not continue in the location ahead of me. And what this study aims to do is to find the best route to bridge that gap that will allow people to then continue on the trail and participate in either walking or biking in the 66-mile loop. Right now we have 3 alternatives that we've narrowed it down to, and they are just simply A, B, and C. And what we'd like is for the input from the community so that we know what's going to be best for them, whether they want a shared sidewalk, whether they want dedicated bike lanes, and maybe a green curb that's painted. So our goal is to get input from the community so that we maximize what the use will be and maximize what the people want. What we've realized at the city is that there is a desire for improved bike trails, and we also are participating in the Go Human event, and we do have Swati Meshram of Community Development here to tell us a little bit more about even a recent event that we had here at the city. Would you like to talk about that event, Swati?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Francisco. So here at the city, earlier this year in the month of November, we had our first Go Human event, which we called the Meet on Beach event. It was very well attended by our residents. A lot of people with their families on their bikes and skateboards enjoyed the event, which was on Beach Boulevard connecting Knott's Berry Farm to the West Anaheim Youth Center. So as part of that event, we actually received a lot of positive feedback from the people in our community who want to see something similar occur. And this project, which is the Buena Park OCLoop Bike Trail Connection Study, when it comes to completion, would offer the opportunity to our residents to ride their bikes on an ongoing basis outside of a special event such as Meet on Beach.
It creates a real unique opportunity for even distance bikers to eventually ride around 66 miles around the entire county. And so, say for instance, if a mountain biker is on the Fullerton Loop mountain bike trails, they can connect now with either A, B, or C, depending on what the community wants, and they can connect to this Coyote Creek bike trail and make their way south or north in an entire loop around the county. People can take the survey by going to www.buenapark.com/bike trails. So just buenapark.com/bike trails, and it's a very simple questionnaire where you could provide your input on what features you would like to see on the trail, including dedicated bike lanes or green striping to designate it. What are some other things they do with bike lanes? They separate completely from the street with planters. So it just depends on what room we have and what the availability is of space. Our goal is to obtain as much information from the community as possible through these surveys so that we can then present it at a community workshop on February 19th, 2020. And we welcome the community to attend and provide their input and their enthusiasm, because we do know there's a desire for biking through Buena Park. We've already seen it at several events we've held.